Hello everyone. My name is Saurabh Agarwal from Informatica Cloud Product Management Team, and today I'm going to talk about two new features that work in conjunction. We are releasing as part of August 2020 release, which will help you define better and expressive APIs. So let's jump in. So there are two new features being provided as part of our August 2020 release. We have added support in terms of being able to fetch the HTTP verb within a process that we would be doing by using one function, as we will see shortly in the demo. So till date we only had support for get and post verbs, but now with this feature we would be able to also provide support for put, delete and patch HTTP verbs, and this will enable developers to define more expressive REST APIs. At the same time, we understand that there are use cases where users need to pass the information on the API invocation as a URL segment. So we are also providing support for fetching the URL segment as part of our offering in August 2020. These two features working in conjunction will let you create APIs that can read, update, create, overwrite, modify or delete an existing REST resource. So let's jump into the demo. I have logged into Informatica Intelligent Cloud Services, and what you see right now is a pre-created process which will showcase these two features in action. So let me make it a bit more bigger by leveraging our zoom in, zoom out functionality, and let me give you a better view of this process. As you would notice that it looks a very big process. It's big because it's supporting multiple HTTP verbs, but let's look at how this process is being created and what is the intention for this process. So let's talk about what this process does. This process is meant to manage the customer data. It uses a database behind the scenes. As you would notice that we have a MySQL table here that maintains customer information. Because we are managing customer through this process, we will have a requirement to add customers to the database, at the same time being able to get all the customers or selected few customers from the database based upon an ID or customer ID. We will also need support for being able to update a customer, change a customer or delete a customer. And now let's see how this is all made possible with these two new features that we have in release for August 2020. So on the start step, as you would notice, we have, and let me show you what properties we have. So on the start step, as you would notice that we have a bunch of input fields. Let me take you back to the database table which is maintaining this information for customers. So we have a customer ID here which is auto generated, but the customer has a first name and last name. They have an address, they have a primary phone number and a secondary phone number. As you notice here, this table is empty right now. It doesn't have any data. So in order to get this data into the database, you would actually have to provide information to this process to be able to add this information to the database. So you need to provide in the first name, the last name, address, primary phone number and secondary phone number, and these becomes your input field. The next step would be to fetch the HTTP verb, because there is a possibility that the user is trying to either use the post to enter information in the customer database, or he's trying to get all the customers, or maybe delete the customers, patch or put the customers, right? So at this point we get the information in terms of what HTTP verb is being used to invoke as part of the request, and this is made possible because we have a new function here in the request context category, which will let you fetch the HTTP verb. Once we have this information available, we use the precision step to make sure that we perform the right operations for each of the verbs. So we are looking at performing this operation for 5 different verbs: get, post, put, patch and delete. And no brainer for get, we are looking at getting either a single customer or get all the customers, and we make a decision on getting a single customer based upon fetching the URL segments. So there's a new function which lets you get all the URL segments, the URL path segments here, again available as part of our functions request context category. So you can get all the path segments here You can index them as 1, 2, 3 based upon how many segments have been passed. In this case, we are going to be passing a single customer ID, so I'm just fetching the first segment here. But once you have this information and the first segment is not empty, you realize that either it is to get all the customers or it is to get one specific customer. You also see there are some assignment steps here which are mainly to ensure that we are able to get the right information to the requester in terms of the right status message or get the customer ID. But this is necessarily to provide some feedback to the user that either the customer has been deleted or the customer has been updated or fetching the customer information. Similarly, when you want to do a post operation, when you want to create a customer, is when you would be able to pass in the required parameters on this branch which is meant for post, and you will pass all this information to be able to create that customer. You can do a similar activity through a put, but the focus here is to not create a new customer but to update or rather change the customer information for an existing customer. Then you also have a patch operation which again utilizes the same functionality, but here the focus is to update a customer information. And then you have a delete operation which again works on the customer ID provided to delete that specific customer. All these actions on the database is being performed by our JDBC OData connector, which is exposed as a service connector and being able to perform all these operations. So with that said, let me show you how one is going to use this process to be able to manage the customer data. So let me show you first the table state. The table right now, as you would notice, has no data. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to be firing a post request to get the customer information in the table, and for that I would need to get the URL. So let's start creating customer one by one. I'm going to be using the post operation to create customers, and we will do that by sending in those requests one by one. And as you would notice that we create the first customer in our table, the customer ID is 72, and there is a status message which suggests that the customer has been successfully created. Let's look at our table now. And the table, you would notice that we have created our first customer successfully. Similarly, let's create other customers. So I'll start doing that. That's our second customer. That's third. That's the fourth customer. And for this demo, this is our last and fifth customer. So we got 5 customers created. Let's look at what the table shows. The table shows there are 5 customers in the table right now. We have done that. Probably now the next step is to see all the customers through the API. So for that we will just change the verb to a get, and we will not pass any information on the URL parameters, which means that we are trying to get all the customers here. So let's do that, and you get this information here of all the customers. So you see the customer ID 72, 82, 92, 102 and 112. So all the 5 customers are listed here. But let's say I'm more focused to look at customer number 72. I would pass this as a URL parameter and use the same get request and click on send. And now I would notice that I'm only getting information for one specific customer, which is customer ID 72. Let's presume for now that we want to change this customer because we still want to use the same ID, but this customer has changed completely, so we're gonna be using the put verb here. So I'm going to pass all the information to update this customer. So I need to pass in what I need to change, which is I updating everything here with the first name, last name, address, and the phone numbers. But I also need to pass in the customer ID as a URL segment or a URL parameter to figure out which customer needs to change. Click on send, and you would notice that we have changed the customer successfully. The evidence of that is available on this MySQL database table, where you would notice that your customer ID 72 now has a different customer information. We might also realize that we have to update some of the customer information here, and we will do that through a patch operation. And let's go back to our Postman and pass in this information. Now call this a patch method and pass in the customer ID is 72 and send this information. We have updated the customer with customer ID 72 successfully. Let's look at what we see in the table. And you would notice that we have updated the primary phone number and the secondary phone number for the customer ID 72. And let's see how the delete works out. So delete will just require a parameter on the URL. It doesn't require any information, it just need to know the customer ID. So we'll call the delete operation with this information. We don't require any body here, and let's call the delete request, and the response suggests that we have already the customer ID 72. Let's look at the evidence of this in our table, and you would notice that we don't have the 72 customer ID anymore. So what you just saw is that how easy it is to define those expressive APIs which will let you perform all the CRUD operations: create, read, update, and delete, override. Really crucial for you to define effective APIs. It really helps the developer. Rather than making multiple APIs, you are able to now define all of these into a single API, and that you are able to perform all the CRUD operations with leveraging those new functionalities and new capabilities available in our August release. So what we saw is that how easy it is for you to define those expressive APIs using those two new functions available as part of our August 2020 release. For getting more information, you can refer to Informatica documentation on this URL. You can also leverage our Cloud App Integration community, which is a collaborative user platform to share and seek information. Experts are available to answer your queries, and there are others who can help you out with a similar problem that they might have faced in the past. You can ask these questions on community and get quick answers, and you can also look for help videos, documents, samples, KBs, knowledge base articles, how to extract, etc. to get around your issues. Well, that's all I had for this presentation. Have a good day.